Hi, I'm Jennifer Manson, the Flow Writer. I'm an author myself. I help people to write books and I also do personal and professional coaching. So today I wanted to talk about what the process is once I finish writing a novel and to get it into the hands of my readers. So I recently finished writing my first novel, actually in quite a while, and really excited about getting back to my own writing. So I've mentioned in other videos that my process is to write every day, even if that's a small amount. At the moment, the book I'm working on, I'm working a little bit faster because I'm going on holiday and I don't like to take a long break, but I also know that I won't get the same amount of time to write while I'm traveling. So I'm working to finish that before I leave. But going back to the book that I finished a couple of months ago, I want to talk about the process of getting that book ready to publish. So I self-publish my books on Amazon mainly, but they're also available from bookshops and other places. So the process is, once I finish a novel, I leave it for maybe a week or two, and then I come back to it and I do a steady kind of read through and line edit. So because my books are written in one continuous creative arc where I turn up to the page each day, there's not usually a lot of structural editing that needs to take place, but I go through it myself. When I'm doing the first write, when I'm writing it for the first time, I like to not be too critical of what I'm doing. So if I notice that I've repeated a word, I go, okay, well, I'll pick that up when I do my edit. So I do a read through, I do a light edit, line edit, sentence by sentence, just to make sure that each sentence feels as elegant as I want it to, and there's variation in the words. And also I'll pick up if I've made any small logic errors. So maybe a time of day, or maybe I've said that something's happening on a particular day, but then when I come to write that section, it's a different day of the week. So I'll correct those things. So once I've done that, I take it to my professional editor, and I'm really fortunate to have a lovely friend who I used to write with when I was 12. We wrote magazines together when we were at intermediate school. And she is now a professional editor, so that is her full-time work. And she is the person that I go to do my professional edit over the text. So we have a kind of arrangement, because I'm a writer and because I've edited work myself, I kind of know what I'm doing in terms of where I want the book to be, what I want it to be like, how I want it structured, and all of those things. I'm not asking her to do a big full edit of, critiquing the structure, or even even making decisions about how the wording should be. So what I ask her to do in her pass is read it through, mark any pieces where she isn't clear what's going on, or if she thinks things are unclear, and also to highlight any sentences where she says that, this is not up to your normal standard of writing. You might want to think about how you smooth this out or make it better. Previously, she used to try to make suggestions about that herself, but I found that I more often was coming up with my own solutions. So I've just asked her to mark the things that she thinks need a little bit of extra attention. If it's something that it's quicker for her to fix, a typo or some punctuation, then I ask her to do that. She does that with track changes. But if it's something that needs a little bit of thinking, or some more kind of discretionary idea of how to solve the issue that she's highlighting, then I just ask her to highlight that. And then when that comes back, I look through the track changes, I look through her comments, and I make those changes myself. Now, traditionally or typically, my books are around about 60,000 words. That seems to be around about the length of book that I write. So it will take me something around 20 hours to do my edit, and it might take another 10 hours to implement the changes that she's suggesting from her edit. So at that point, we've got a completed manuscript, and that's a really exciting moment. From there, I will go and do the layout into book form. So I have a template that I use for each of my novels, fonts that I like to use, and a layout which includes starting each chapter on a right-hand page. Here's the copyright page, what goes on that, what the text is that I use. So each chapter starts on a right-hand page. I go to the end of the book, make sure that there are no kind of hanging lines that are looking strange on the page. and make sure that all the left-hand and right-hand pages are lining up properly. And then at the end, I put some calls to action, so information about where people can contact me and where they might like to find other versions of my books. So I complete that layout, the interior PDF. I'll also take that completed manuscript and format it for ebook, so Kindle versions and other types of ebooks. In parallel with all of this, then I will have been working with a cover designer. So I have one cover designer who I love to work with, who did the first cover designs for the first 6 of my books. I'm hoping that she'll be willing to do this one as well. If not, I'll need to find another cover design, or I'm having a look at some software where I may be able to do that myself, but I prefer to work with a graphic designer who has better eye than I do for how the layout should be and exactly how things should be placed on that PDF. Once I have the PDF, and for the Amazon upload, they give a template that we can use to give to the graphic designer and make sure all of the elements are in the right place. I upload the Word document with the print layout. I upload the PDF for the cover design. Another element of that is I need to know how many pages so that we can make sure the spine width is right. Upload that PDF, those 2 PDFs, the cover design and the interior PDF, to Amazon, and then all of my other elements in Amazon are set up. So my author page, my tax information, my payment information, all of that for the royalties are already set up. So I upload that in Kindle Direct Publishing, and when I'm ready to go, have a look at the proof. The online proof mainly is fine. Have a look at the proof and set it ready to publish. And then we set the cost, the price for each book in the different locations. We set the price for the Kindle version in different locations, and then there it is. So there's also another piece to this, which is I let the people who have asked to be notified when I have a new book. I let them know that a new book is coming out. I have a coaching newsletter, so I usually put a little note in that to say, hey, another exciting thing that's happening in my life is that my latest book is now out. So I'm just trying to think whether there are any other elements. It's always good to let your network know. There are all kinds of things that you can do for marketing, and that really isn't my area of expertise, so I won't talk so much about that. But yes, I think those are the basic steps, and just to let you know what the process is once your first draft is complete. So I hope that's been of interest, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks. Bye.